You can turn on your light.
Oh, I could. Would that make me prettier?
I don't know if that if there is anything that could make you prettier.
Aww. Hello, and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode, I don't know.
468.
468 is real tiny at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of January.
It is.
Of 2020.
Yes. Hey, I just read an article about how when you date stuff...
You shouldn't abbreviate it.
Do not abbreviate, because some people can add, 9 years worth of dates afterwards.
Yeah, so if you were to say, today, and in many countries, the date system is different. So, the year is at the beginning of the date versus at the end. So it would be today is January 7th, 2020. So in a lot of places, the date would be 20/01/07. But in the U.S., at least, we do 01/07/20. But like Laura's saying, I've seen some of these articles too, you shouldn't abbreviate it as 20, because then someone could go behind theoretically and say
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can
so they could future date something. I don't know the full ramifications or how valid that is, but it is I could see how it could be.
Of. Yeah. Leslie is helping me weave in ends on my blanket because there are a bazillion of them. I did do a clasped weft join on it, but
not until you were halfway through almost.
Yeah, and anytime I was changing on an eyelet row, I couldn't do that. So, but we should talk about what we're working on before we. I guess we're technically working on this. But it's just the weaving and ends. Here, I'll just talk about this. It's under finished objects on the show notes, but it is actually, it's done but that.
Let me snip these two.
Yeah.
I'll just roll them.
Okay. So this is, what is this?
It's a Helen Stewart.
Yes. It's the Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart. And it looks like this. And it's all the knitting is done. So it's over 2,000 yards.
So
well,
this
right
was
around 2,000
2 years worth of an advent calendar from
Bumblebee Acres.
Bumblebee Acres, yeah.
In their Corriedale sock base, which is one of my favorite bases. And we're just weaving in the ends, and then I'm going to block it, and then it's going to be done. And there are a ton of ends left.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a great way if you have a bunch of minis or a bunch of leftovers that you want to use up.
This reminds me of the blanket that one of our viewers sent for Humberto.
Yes.
Because it was knit on the diagonal with just strips, scrappy strips, and I love it.
It's so pretty, yeah. So, hers was a cushion size.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's around, I would say, 50 inches wide, maybe?
I don't know. I have a tape measure right here. So you can fold it in half, and I'll just measure it and double it.
Let's do
just
that.
in case this isn't wide enough. So it's only 60 inches wide.
Well, I don't know that it's...
So it's about 29.
Okay.
So that's 58.
Yeah. So that's actually bigger than I thought it was.
So that's almost 5 feet across.
And it's square.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lightweight. It does call for fingering weight. I'd love to knit it again just using a Noro type yarn.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And yeah, just a thicker weight I think would be super cool, and then you wouldn't need to have all these ends to weave in, first off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the finished objects. There's some colorways that are not my fave. This is the Chocolate Frogs colorway, this yellow, blue, and brown. Yeah. Not my favorite, but it butts up with Ron Weasley. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's cute.
All the minis were Harry Potter based. But, yeah, it's fun. And we're moving on. I'm glad it's done. I can't wait to snuggle.
You powered through this pretty quickly, actually.
Around a month.
Yeah. But 2,000 yards, that's like a fingering weight sweater.
Yeah. It is. That is correct.
For a larger person.
Yeah.
Probably some tinier people can get 2 sweaters out of that.
Well, it is what it is. So yeah, this is one of my finished objects. The other finished object I have, because we're going out of order, is I knit a hat Dana, and Leslie's gonna put a picture of it in here. Oh. It was for a coworker. It's loop fiber studio in the yin yang base, and I brought some leftover yarn because I love this yarn.
This was like our worsted, right?
Yeah, this is her worsted. It's not my color. It's like an orange with a blue.
Yeah, it's like almost like an 80s acid pop color.
But I love it, and it's gonna look wonderful on her. So I gave that to her today while it's so cold, because we're getting up into the 60s, almost 70 for the rest of the week. So
that's Fahrenheit, well, clearly. But yeah, it's been like beautiful and then freezing, and then beautiful and then freezing. And by beautiful, I mean like 60s, 70s.
Yeah. So our weather is changing again. I wanted to give it to her while it was still cold. And it was like her holiday present. So I wanted to actually give it to her. It took around 165 yards, I would say. This is what I have left over out of the whole skein.
Which is around 200 yards, right? Somewhere in there.
220, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love working with this yarn. It's got it's a merino wool that's non-superwash. So it's got a nice bounce to it, and it blocks really, really lovely. The Hat Santa has cables that run down the middle of it, and this is the perfect if you're just learning how to cable. This is a great first cabling project. Also, this is probably one of the best written patterns that I've seen in a long time. It's got like a check as you go system, and then at least 4 video tutorials as you go.
Wow.
So if you're looking to learn how to knit in the round, or cable, or cable without a cable needle is one of them.
It's
how
also
to wear
a pretty
it.
quick turnaround, right? Because it's not.
I knit it in around 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not a ton of yardage. So even if you're a pretty slow or beginning, knitter, you can knit it in a few days, probably.
I watched 2 hockey games and knit it. So
God, that sounds like hell.
No, it was lots of fun. It's better when the Penguins are winning, but it's fine. So I really, and it's got little tassels, and I did the little tassels with the tool that I got from TheKnitGirlls. So I got these little tassel gauges. I wanted to share these with y'all. I don't have
like last year sometime.
Yeah, I got them from Never Not Knitting actually, but they're made by TheKnitGirlls. So she sells them. They have a 3-inch tassel, which is what I did because I was doubling them over. Mm-hmm. So really, they were 1.5 inches. There's a 2-inch tassel. And then the bunny's little 1-inch tassel. And I think she's got larger ones as well. I'll have to look.
She has some gorgeous buttons in her
Yeah,
shop.
I'd like to place an order with her at some point in the future. I like her stuff a lot. But when I need stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, I thought those were super cute. They're little tassel makers. If you're in the market for tassel makers, highly recommend. Alright, things that I'm still working on. I swatched for 2 sweaters, and I totally forgot to grab the swatches because they were drying. I swatched for the Lilette and did not get gauge on 2 swatches. So I'm going to switch the yarn that I'm using for that. I had some Craftsy Highland Aran. Yeah, Cloudborne Highland Aran. And it calls for a worsted, and I thought that would work because I have a lot of yardage for it. But it did not work, so I need to go back to the stash and see what I have 1,600 yards of. And then I also swatched for an Atlin. I swatched that one in the round.
A what?
Atlin. Atlin. These are all sweaters that we showed last week when I went through my goals.
I don't pay attention when you're talking.
I know.
So.
Thanks. It was that bulky one from Pip and is it Pip and Pippin?
Pip and Squeak?
No.
I don't know. Why don't I just click the link?
Could you? And then you could see it too.
That was what she wanted me to do 30 seconds ago.
Well, you seem confused. It's that one.
Oh, Megan
Pip and
Nodecker.
Pin.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a nice...
Oh, like a simple pullover with set-in sleeves.
Yes.
Right?
Set-in sleeves that you create from the top down.
Yeah. Oh, so is this part of that Susie's whatever sleeve?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to say no. And I'm knitting that out of Eco Plus.
Yeah.
Well, I swatched out of Eco Plus for it because I'm trying to use up some stash yarn, and that's the bulky that's in my stash. Things that I'm still working on. I'm working on a sock. And this is out of Knit Spin Farm Targhee in the Wear Something Gaudy Day. I'm knitting it on size 1 needles. It was the discussion of the waiting room at the doctor's office the other day. I had 4 or 5 people come up and talk to me about my sock knitting. This is the second one. The first one is all the way done. It was on the heel last time you guys saw it. So I got from the heel increases through this one done, and then the toe of the second one.
That's right, because you were about to turn the heel.
Yes, when we were going to record.
Yeah.
So, yay, there's the first one. The stripes are interesting in that it's like it's hard for me to locate the pattern repeat. So it's got this big block of teal, then a small of white, then a small of navy, then a small of teal, then a big block of the pink, then a small of teal. I guess it's like a repeating, but it's a longer repeat. Yeah. So it takes me a little bit to locate like where the toe should start.
If you want the colors to match.
Yeah. So, and these are for my grandmother, and she will get them when she gets them, hopefully by the end of the month. And that's what I'm going to work on.
Tough luck, Grandma.
She'll get them. No, she doesn't know they're coming, so that...
So you're saying you got your grandmother nothing for Christmas?
That is correct.
And didn't tell her that you were
that is
making
correct.
her something?
I'm pretty sure she's used to that at this point. I might also do some sock machine socks for her.
So rather than like advise and disappoint, you omit and surprise.
Yep. I feel like my life works better that way. I worked on these some last night. These are a pair of tubes that were cranked out of Magic and Moonshine in the Somebody Ate My Ears colorway. They were cranked on our sock machine, which is a Speedster. It's linked in the show notes.
Speedster, yes.
Yes? No, it's not linked, but the name's there. You'll have the ability to Google. I have faith in you.
If you found our podcast, you can probably find Google.
I have the heel almost all the way done. I worked on this for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. There's a new season of Broken Wood on Acorn TV. Broken Wood's a New Zealand detective show. So I put on last season to kind of catch myself up with what had happened. Like what relationships are going on that aren't with the cases. So I started knitting this then. So the heel on the first one's almost done. Then I'll do the heel on the second one, which has a toe already. And then I'll rip back for the ribbing. So yeah. Those maybe I'll be done by the next time. I've been doing a lot of knitting, but all of it has been like whips. The hat Dan is the only thing new.
Plus you swatched.
Yeah, I swatched, and I am going to cast on a sweater sometime soon. Yeah. So that's it for me.
Okay. Well, I only have one thing to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Last week I had 3 FOs. That is not a sustainable thing.
No, it's totally not.
So, I only have one thing to talk about.
I expect higher and more things from you.
I mean, you can expect in one hand. Was that a saying you grew up with?
No, absolutely not.
Are you familiar with one?
Yes.
Okay. I guess maybe it's a Southern thing. I don't know. So the only thing that I've been working on, and right now there are 3 balls of yarn attached to it, is Miranda.
Why are there so
I
many?
will explain if you'll wait a second.
Nope.
So this is Miranda, which is by Josie Paquin. Incidentally, the sweater that I'm wearing is also by Josie Paquin. It is called Coffee Break. It is the most recent one that Gwen knit for me.
I wore my Gwen sweater today too, but then I came home and got changed.
Yeah, no,
because you guys don't see me in my work clothes. I come home and throw on yoga pants.
Because by the we start recording around 6. Laura's already been home for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her. But yeah, I only finished work like an hour ago. But I'm also in bed until like second period for you. So
I'm at work at 6:50.
Yeah, I'm not even. I'm not awake for an hour after that. So
Usually I'm at work before them, but that's like this is the latest you can be here, Tom.
So right now
I
I'm
love that.
on the front pocket section.
So is that cabled or is it just... Yeah,
it's cabled. Is. But you only have to cross the cables like once every 12 rows or something. So,
do you need help?
The reason that I have 3 different skeins of yarn attached to this at the moment, and they're all in my little Star Knits bowl.
Love her bowls.
One is tiny and wee. This is all the yarn I have left for the whole project.
Oh.
So, because I'm knitting it in the round, I'm alternating every row, just because it makes sense, otherwise I'll forget. So that's 2 balls of yarn right there, but the way that you knit this particular sweater is...
Are you doing short sleeves on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like very short.
I think that's all you're going to have yarn for.
So you knit in the round, and then once you get to a certain length, you put the front stitches for the pocket on hold.
Oh, yeah.
And then you keep knitting until you have X number of rows, and then you could snip the yarn and then join it here to knit the front flap of the pocket, but then you'd have to still rejoin back there to knit in the round, and I didn't want to weave in extra ends, and I had that other skein, so
that little, and it's just a wee little
this front panel is where I'm at now. I'm about a third of the way into the panel, and I just started it like an hour ago, right after I finished work. So hopefully I'll finish the panel tonight or tomorrow, and then once the panel is finished, because I've knit this before, so I actually have read to the end of the pattern. Once I finish that, then I'll knit.
Knit 2 together?
Yeah, you knit each stitch together with its matching stitch on the body, and then you immediately start ribbing. So
okay, so you're almost done with the body.
I am. As soon as I finish the front pocket, and then I think you knit
and then I'll give you like
200
yards for each sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, if I have enough, I'm going to do elbow length, but if I don't, that's fine. I'll just do a shorter length.
You'll have enough.
It does call
it's a raglan, right? So they're already here.
Yeah. They're already like here. Yeah.
Okay.
It does allow you to leave the stitches loose like this, like you would pick up and then bind them right back off. I think. Where did I put my pattern? Oh, here it is. Or, but I did that on my other one. Yeah, see, it's just loose.
Yeah, I don't
like a rolled one. Yeah, I have that on the other one of these that I've knit, and I don't really like it either. I prefer it to be a little snug. Plus, because this is a layering piece, and I would wear like a long sleeve shirt underneath it. I prefer to have it a little bit snugger around the top of the...
Yeah, plus it's got ribbing at the bottom, so blocking and like mimicking that ribbing at the top, I think is
and
at the end of the
she
sleeves.
actually designs it really well, so like after you finish the pocket, like that ribbing, that design extends into the ribbing at the bottom.
What's the sizing on this?
So that is my only complaint. Is that the sizing, I think, goes up to like 50 maybe.
Oh.
But also this pattern was put out like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, so if people contact her,
right,
she might be willing to upsize it. Or downsize it.
It goes up to 2X, which is, here we go, 53 inches. No, it goes up to 3X. I apologize. I'm knitting the 2X. 53 inches.
With how much ease?
2 to 4. 2 to 4 inches of positive ease.
Yeah, that's not great.
It was better than a lot of its fellows, because I remember distinctly that I actually reached out to her and was like, thank you for having a larger size option, because a lot of the patterns, I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, I love that designers are in large part offering larger sizes now, but that is definitely a last 5 years thing. It is not something that was always that way.
Especially if it was published in a book or magazine.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyway, I'm knitting on the chart on that, and that's basically all that I've worked on since you guys saw me last week, whenever that was. That's it. That's all I got.
No,
I got nothing else.
That's good.
So, oh, that's not true. I think I knit like 3
You've
squares.
been crocheting squares, I was going to say. Yeah.
I think I did more than this, but this is all that I happen to have in the...
Because you were in my house crocheting
Yeah,
squares
I finished
last
the
Wednesday.
blue ones that I was working on and started the green. I think I've got like 7 or 8 of the green. But yeah, I'm not like pushing myself to finish that. Although, oh my god, your sister... I have to show you guys
this chat at all, like,
it's
completely.
so ridiculous that it is possible I'm going to knit or crochet one.
I think you should
as soon as I finish this sweater.
How is it stuffed?
It's with foam.
Okay.
Like you have to buy the foam, like you would get it at Joann's, like you would use for like a seed or whatever. So hold on, I'm going to. You can hush your face.
This is what I'm surrounded with all the time.
We're going to do a window capture.
So my sister Becca's 5 years younger than me.
And she's awesome.
And did you see the sweater that she's working on now?
No.
Oh, hold on. That's a whole other... So, while Leslie's working on that, let me show you this, because she put it on Facebook. She loves doing intarsia sweaters that are interesting and different. So a couple of years ago, I bought her a book.
Yeah, of like ridiculous cat sweaters or something, right?
No, it was like ridiculous art-based sweaters.
Oh.
And it was, let me see, it's on Facebook. I don't get on Facebook very often, which is why we no longer have a Facebook group. Like, I get on it once every 6 months or so. Anyway, so... It's this book that's, like, ridiculous. See, I can't even use Facebook. How do I search? No, I don't want to know what's on my mind. And it's all, like, art-based stuff. So, and a lot of it's, like, pop culture-based art stuff. So she's working on a sweater that is Wham, I guess.
Oh, my God.
So it's one of those sweaters, and they're all, like, super oversized, 80s-tastic... intarsia sweaters.
So if you were at SSK the year we had the cat sweater, same knitter.
Yeah, I can show you. Oh, here's the pattern. She linked it on. So it's a Roy Lichtenstein base sweater, and this is what the finished sweater looks like. There you go.
Wow.
So that is what, and the book that I got it from, I bought it used off of Amazon. Oop. And it is Knitting Masterpieces.
Yep, that sounds about right.
It looks like this. Do you remember that?
They can't see. Hold on. We're gonna open that in a new.
It was published in 1987.
Hold on, we're gonna look him up. Roy.
Oh, that's the artist that's based off of. That's not.
Oh, he's not on.
No. You want Knitting Masterpieces. Nope. Yeah, right there. See the Mona Lisa? Yep.
So this is the sweater that we're talking about.
That Beck's making. Yep.
That is pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie.
I have pictures of the cat sweater on my phone. I'll bring that up.
That takes a serious like love of Wham.
Look at some of the other, well, it's look at the Monet and stuff. A lot of them don't have pictures.
Yeah, because who's knit this? I mean, a Grecian vase,
the Mona Lisa, David,
Henry Toulouse, the Mona Lisa. Holy crap. I'm impressed. Look at that one. Look at the shading. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's like, that's what's charted out.
Well, I'm sure, but yeah, still the dedication, man.
Yeah, there's some really interesting ones. So I think I spent $5 whole on the book on Amazon. Highly recommend. And she's got like 7 different books.
That's amazing.
So this is the cat sweater. Here's Amy Beth in the cat sweater. It's my favorite. Oh, y'all can't
You're
see.
going to have to wait, because if I unclick this, then I have to re-add the source again.
All right,
it's a pain.
So you put your little kitty couches. There you go.
So Beck sent me a link to this pattern. It is a tiny couch for cats. It is crocheted. It has its own blanket. And wait, are there pictures? Oh, you bet there are.
Of kitties on
You
this
bet
couch.
there are.
Oh.
Look at this kitty on his own couch. This kitty is baller.
Oh, I like the colors of that one. I love how that kitty has 0
F's.
Yeah.
That kitty's
Aww.
like, leave me alone.
I like that blanket on that one.
Yeah. Like, this is so amazing, and the pattern is $2. Like, $2.
Look at that red one. Someone did a little zebra print blanket.
Oh, that is, I didn't even see that. That's awesome.
With little cushions that they sewed. It's a dog bed.
This might be sewn, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still. Like, yeah, you use foam to shape.
Has anyone made more than one? Because
I don't
that
know.
is like... Oh.
Look at that cat. It's so cute.
That looks like Victoria Mist.
So, yeah.
How big is this?
Do I have space for this? No. Am I going to knit it? You bet your butt I am.
It's crocheted.
Ooh, look at that blanket.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah.
I like how they added salts or pepper grinder for sizing.
Yeah.
That answered my question of how
I
big
think
is
it's like
it?
12 by 12 by something.
It's worsted too. It'll go fast. It's $2 whole.
12
by 12 by 18 and a
inches,
half.
yeah.
Huh.
So,
With
yeah.
a G. Look, and she's got other things too.
She does.
She's
has
got a
like,
whole thing of this.
She's got like the round newlywed bed version of the sofa. Like, and she's got the all one piece.
When
like,
were these published?
cushion. I don't know.
Why is that? How's that one different?
It's the center is all one piece instead of two separate cushions. 1998.
Wow.
Don't hate.
I'm not.
This is by Candy Clayton. For all you people out there, I think we need a cat couch along.
I think you should start a cat couch along.
I mean, seriously, how amazing is that? You need one, right?
All right, here's Amy Beth in the cat sweater that my sister knit several years ago. Everyone at SSK was trying it on, and because it's so oversized.
Yeah, we got like Susan B. Anderson. We got Jinx, Laura of Jinx.
You know, Scooter Pie's on here.
Mm.
There's Scooter Pie.
I remember Scooter Pie.
In the sweater. So sad. Anyway. Yeah, Steve, leading Man Fiber Arts. These are
pulling off his blue steel.
I know, these are the pictures I have saved on my phone from SSK.
Yeah.
Oh, Paula.
Aww.
There's Paula.
Never know what you're going to find at SSK.
That's true.
For better or for worse.
There's Evil Twin. Rebecca. I don't have... Oh, there's Java Jenny. Boom. Alright, I gotta stop.
I was going to say, as fun as this is, they're going to be like...
I have some...
Spinning, right?
Spinning, I do. So, first off, there is a spin-along that's happening. Jillian Marino, who's a good friend of ours, is doing a sample spin-along on her blog, which I'm super excited to do. The first part, and it's linked in our show notes, which you can find at TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com, is just dividing your fiber, and then you spin that fiber 4 different ways. So if you are interested in stretching yourself as a spinner, I'm totally going to do this. I'm going to use some Into the World, I think, that I can buy like a sweater's lot of.
Thank you.
It was keeping me nice and warm. That I could later buy a sweater lot of, so I can really see how I would like to spin it. But what I spun this week is 95 whole yards of a 2-ply. It is part of Hip Strings Base 12, which was kind of like their Advent spin along.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was the first like 4. Well, this is an ounce. So there were bats, and because I'm all about bats right now, and also some of their specialty rovings that they create. Well, top, not rovings. So it's got a lot of glitter to it, some sari silk. I think every single blend but one did have silk in it. But yeah, it reminds me of saris and some of the colors.
Yeah.
And because it's got that sari silk in it.
The reds and oranges that you traditionally see in a lot of Indian saris.
Yeah.
Beautiful colors.
Absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, so I have 95-ish yards of that 2-ply. I would say that it's a DK weight. Maybe sport to DK. So, I am going to continue spinning the rest. And I'm also, what I've been spinning on mostly has been my giant mashup spin that I started last December, like this past December.
That you almost killed yourself spinning and
the 1,000 yards, yeah. So I have the first half done, and it's like 1,000 yards of fingering weight. So I'm trying to get that.
But then there's still some left on bobbins, right?
Yeah. But I'm gonna try to get like the second 1,000 yards done, and then I need to look at patterns. Leslie's been kind of helping me look at patterns for that, and that'll be my first like hand spun sweater quantity.
I kind of want to make a portage out of hand spun since we saw Kelly's and it looked so great. And it's garter stitch.
Yeah. So what would do you have some fiber in mind that you would like to use?
I don't. I would probably do it like one of the fleeces.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan. I'm actually carding a fleece right now. I have a pound and like 8 ounces of fleece, a CVM that I just finished washing, that I'm starting to card, and that's one of my big projects. I'm trying to spin more sweater lots this year. We'll see. Because I have lots of 4 ounce and 8 ounce lots. I also need to knit more with my hands. So I say that every year. And I did a decent job last year.
You knit more with your hand spun than most people I know.
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah and Amy, not Sarah,
Jess does a ton.
And Amy Beth are maybe the only 2 people I know
who knit more. You know who else does is Joanna.
Oh, really?
Knit Spin Farm. Knits a lot with her hand spun. So yeah, that's just something that I would like to get into a little bit more. There's actually one of the groups that I'm in on Ravelry has a section that's all about knitting with hand spun. So I need to Star Knits is super active in there with like mashup spins, and her sister Naturally Knitty, they also do a lot of big spins. It's nice to see people spinning and using their hand spun. It's motivating. Gets me motivated. Yep, absolutely. When it comes to reading, I'm reading the same. Well, I finished Water Viper by R.J. Blaine, and it was left open for another one that's coming out next year. So it was just kind of a not really a cliffhanger ending, but a little bit still. It's a little bit of a dystopian. And I read the second one, which is Steelheart in the series as well. It's a dystopian world where there's these gemstones that can give powers or take powers, and the Hope Diamond's included in that. And they have created a society that's more, because they've shut down like the electrical grid and other things, it's become more of like a traditional Wild West type feel to it, where horses are
I got within like 30 feet of the Hope Diamond.
Did you? Where is it? Smithsonian?
Or that's where it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But there were like 7 people deep in front of me to look at it, and I was like, yeah, I don't care that much. I'm not going to get to keep it, so...
Yeah. So interesting, and I'll get the next one when it comes out in a year and probably have to reread them all again. Still listening to Tristan Strong. I've been trying to spin 15 minutes a night, and I've been listening to that as I spin. I thought I was going to have some more time at work this week to listen, but I had to rearrange my schedule a little bit, so being flexible. And I'm still playing catch up and listening to the TheKnitGirlls, as well as I just started Broken Wood again, which is a great TV show if you're into like murder mystery, midsummer level of violence type show. But yeah, what about you, friend? As you weave in all my ends, because you're the bestest friend.
Well, I sort of took control and didn't really give you an option, because it would bother me if the ends weren't woven in at your house.
That's shocking to me. It's like I did this on purpose.
It's like you've never met me before or something.
In Leslie's defense, I did have a blanket on the back of my couch that I didn't weave in the ends for around 4 years on. It was a log cabin.
This is true. So I'm actually watching a show on Netflix called Unbelievable, and it's got Uma Thurman in it. But it's about a serial rapist, but it's not about the rapist. It's about the detectives who like band together to try and find the guy. Because
is it based on a true story?
Yes.
Okay.
It's based on true events. Yeah.
So Leslie doesn't do a lot of detective shows unless they're true crime.
Yeah, I try not to do a lot of it just because I really can't stomach gore or graphic violence. Makes me physically ill. But in this case, because the story was so focused on the detectives, and it's it's Uma Thurman and another actress who I've never met before or never seen before, but they really do a great job, and it's actually really nice to see a series that has strong, like, badass women in the role, and they focus on the women in the story, and it's not, sorry, I'm on my, like, smash the patriarchy soapbox today, but so that's what I've been watching. I'm not done with it yet. There are all sorts of trigger warnings for it, so at your own risk. I am reading Pathfinder's Way by T.A. White. I'm having a lot of trouble finding books that I'm interested in. So for me, like, Alana Andrews is the benchmark that all other authors have.
There's a new Innkeeper coming out next week.
I know. I've already pre-ordered it. But Alana Andrews is like the benchmark for all other authors for me when it comes to paranormal. And I find that a lot of what I'm reading, granted, I am in Kindle Unlimited, so a lot of it I'm not necessarily paying for, but a lot of the books that I'm reading are just too twee or a little too trite, or like the characters aren't realistic, and that bugs me.
Have you read the Devin Monk Ordinary Magic series?
I don't think so. I'll have to try that.
I think you would like that one.
But like, I don't care about vampires. I like the vampires in Alana Andrews's book in the Innkeeper series because they're so different from anything I've read before, and they're just funny and, like, I don't know.
There's a societal aspect that's been built
a religious
around them.
sort of, if you haven't read Alana Andrews, friggin' amazing for paranormal.
Yep. Her and her husband, Gordon.
Yes, that's the two of them.
Write it together, and she's also a crafter.
She is. And if it wasn't creepy, I would find out where she lived and go knock on her door and ask her to tell me stories. But that is
would
creepy.
Be creepy.
Know the line. So I'm reading Pathfinder's Way.
I do give her, like, knitting yarn recommendations when she asks for
like
it sometimes. Yeah.
And then I'm re-listening to a series by Michael J. Sullivan called The Crown Tower. It's the Rhaenyra Chronicles. It's the prequel to another series that I haven't read or listened to, but Kobe is listening to it. He has my Audible account set up on his Alexa, so it's funny sometimes. He's like, "What are you listening to?"
Oh.
But he re-listened to the series, and I just bought him the 5th book in the series, and it reminded me how much I liked it, so I'm starting it over. And that's The Crown Tower again. Let's see what we're wearing. I already talked about mine. It's called Coffee Break.
I'm wearing my Neighborhood Fiber Company hoodie because it's the most comfortable thing in the world.
That is knitting related. Neighborhood Fiber does make yarn
Gorgeous
and fiber.
yarn.
Yeah. 2020 goals. Oh, I did sort of do an organizational thing. You want to see?
Yeah, I do.
For my 2020. So
Leslie doesn't like goals as a general principle.
I don't like being boxed in. That's my problem. So I'm sorry, it's gonna take me just a second. let's do this. Okay, so
Those for our show notes. They're very exciting.
Yep, this is our very exciting show notes. So, what I did was in my queue, which I really need to go through and cull.
I did that recently, actually.
I made a 2020 plans.
Oh, look at that.
So if I make half of the things in here in 2020, I'll be happy.
Okay, I want to see what they are.
So...
Oh, Meadowlark. I've
had this in my queue
while.
forever. I have the yarn for it.
How does the sizing work on that one?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever looked at that. Up to a 46 inch. But it's an open vest. So,
yeah, and it's an older pattern.
Yeah, so I'm not... I mean, you could go up in gauge and make the difference because it's a sport weight. It's lace held double.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then this is similar in shape. It's the Eternalism vest, but I thought it would be good in hand spun.
Yeah.
It's a Talitha Kwame pattern who does the plan pooling.
Goes up to
stuff.
a 50. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that would be a good, like, quick hand spun project. And this
the almond tea
you're working
on.
Mint Schnapps by Thea Coleman. This
That's
is just
cute.
a bulky hat. Foils pullover. This is a DK, and I'm going to use some stash that I got from Row. It's a very simple, classic sort of lace pullover.
And it's Amy Herzog. Usually her stuff's sized decently.
And it's DK too, so it'll... it's a custom fit, so...
Okay, you can make any size.
Yeah. Herbarium. This one, I think, is what I'm going to use my ice skating party for.
By
from
Amy Florence.
Amy.
Yeah.
So this is another... It's sort of like a boxy, but with a lace aspect to it. But a pretty simple lace. This is an Osa Tricosa pattern. And it's very simple, like, striped color work.
Shawl?
Like a scarf shawl thing.
Okay.
And it uses the two different, like, you know, colors of yarn.
That would be cool out of hand spin too, I feel like.
It's been in my queue forever. East or West. Yeah, I thought this would be a good way to mix up some skeins.
Yeah.
Of, like, those single skeins, because I've got some good neutrals and some good, like, solids. So this seemed like a good way to use some of those.
Goes up to a 3XL.
This Henley hat, I just like the look of it. I like the, like, welting.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this is an after effect. Like, you do this after you finish the hat, I believe.
Huh. So you pick up...
Yeah, with crochet.
Oh. Huh.
It's just like chain stitching, but you're chain stitching onto
fabric?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a free pattern too, so...
Long Island iced tea.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that in my queue for a
this
while.
Is a looks pretty simple vest that you can wear over your long sleeve tees.
And it goes up to a 54.
Good
vibes I like a lot.
Yeah, Nadia, I can't pronounce her name. But, yeah, this has also been in my queue forever. Uses two skeins. Contrasting colors. This one I think I added last year, but it's... Oh, the year before. It's, two different colors of, like, the Kid Silk Haze.
Yeah.
Or any of the newer variants of it. But it's brioche, too. So it's, like, it's really beautiful.
That's a very Leslie thing.
Yeah.
God, thinking about making a mistake in that is making my brain hurt.
Well, that's what I want. This looks super easy. This is brioche, and it's just like you use with like leftovers of your fingering weight skeins.
Cute.
And because of the way it's like short row is shaped, it'll actually sit up on your neck, which is positive.
Miranda, which
I'm working on now. Decla, which I got Lindy chain from Knit Picks for. This is it'll be a linen weight top, and this will be, you know, hopefully something I can wear warm weather. This is the 4th vest.
Yeah, you're super into vests right now.
Yeah.
Cute. It goes up to a 3X, whatever that is.
This is another brioche hat. This one is interesting in that you knit the lace and then you essentially knit a liner.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
So your color pops through the lace.
Lace.
Yeah. So
That will be very warm and snuggly, I bet.
Yeah.
Baskets.
Little
cute.
cat and bear baskets or little crochet baskets are super cute. This one, I love haps.
It's a hap.
I just love haps. So it's a big square shawl, essentially, with this beautiful, delicate work on the edges. I'm looking forward to knitting. I love haps. And then
shrug.
Yeah, a robin shrug. In fingering weight, this one goes up to it's not chest measurements, it's opening arm circumference, and
so it says it'll fit up to 57.
Yeah. So again, it's just a simple shrug. I thought that would be good for.
It's gonna go more on your bicep measurements,
weather.
I think.
See if there's anybody who's larger who has put a picture up. No, not I can see. But it looks simple and like not too fitted and nothing I have to fuss too much with. It does have lace. B Street, which is a lace pullover. A lot of lace next year.
Yeah.
Or this
year. It only goes up to an L2.
What is L2?
I don't know.
I'm not even looking at sizing. Large 2, which is a 55.
But it's minimal ease.
Yeah, because it's relatively snug. This looks like a good summer piece. Mirror by Yumiko, so I'll do that in a linen.
It goes up to an XL.
Yeah, but I'll probably just do it in a larger gauge. And then Glassberry. This is one that I'm looking forward to as well.
Love it.
Yeah. So that one, it's a cardigan, but the only lace is at the back, so
really pretty.
Gives you kind of a break.
Goes up to a 60, so that's the most inclusive of them.
Yeah. So that's my 2020.
Cool.
Like I said, if I do half of them, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So
I would be happy with 4 of them. That's about my standard sweater knits are around 4 a year.
There we go.
So if I get through 4 sweaters a year, I'm usually pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, I may not. I may.
Well, you did 11 garments last year.
Yeah,
so.
but that may make me tired of doing garments, and I may not feel like it after a little while.
Yeah.
So those are my 2020 goals. I also want to sew at least 3 garments. And I have this idea in my head of this Cthulhu inspired reverse applique, like a Alabama Shannon style.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know if it'll work, but
give it a try.
I went today and was looking for Cthulhu fabric because, why not? And I ended up finding Catthulu. So it's like a little cat head with a little...
I feel like that's even better.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I had to not buy it, but it was pretty great. Spoonflower, y'all. Cthulhu.
Well, I've heard their fabric for garments that are being washed quite a bit. It doesn't hold up the printing process.
I don't know. There's 20 different base fabrics now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that came from
very expensive
quilters before,
yeah.
In prior years. So I don't know.
Anyway. So all of the dates are up for our
year
events, alongs that we do. Clothing Conservation Month will be April and May. Stash Dash will be May 22nd to August 22nd. Thank you for keeping the dates the same.
I did that last year too.
That will make it so much easier to remember. The Halloween Craft All the Things will be the 15th of September until the 31st of October. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it, unless we add something, but those are our standard things that we've been doing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, this is very warm.
It is.
Also, I believe all the ends are woven in.
Maybe.
I
think
they are. Once you wash it, you can...
I'll find some.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes, but I don't see any that aren't, trimmed.
Thank you.
We trimmed... Oh, nope, there's one. Yep, there's one right there. I'll fix that.
Yes! So you guys won't see the blanket again. It's going to go on my couch.
Yep. So we hope
Pearl
you guys...
will snuggle under it.
Or me, because I snuggled under your
hand-spun one, yeah.
this past weekend. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys have a great week and weekend, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.